Hey, what's up you guys? I'm back again this week, and instead of doing a movie review, I decided to do something a little different. Now, it's not going to be a challenge video, it's not going to be a quiz or making something or an unboxing video or anything like that. It's still going to have to do with movies. But instead of me watching and reviewing a movie, I thought I would go through all the movies pretty much that I have and talk about my favorite movies and why they're my favorites. So, without further ado, let's go fucking take a look at my goddamn movies. So here are my movies. I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then like a little thing and those two, but those are just books, and this is all books. And at the bottom is books, but everything else is like my TV shows and my movies, or DVDs here, and then Blu-rays over there, and yeah. So I'm just gonna pick out a few, and I will show you my favorites. Okay, so as you can kind of see behind me, I have a bunch of movies over here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start choosing them. Alright, so the first one that's one of my favorites is Star Wars. So if you've never seen Star Wars, get out of my house, okay? A lot of the Star Wars fans are gonna hate me a little bit, just because I only recently watched it, like, in the summer before Episode 7 came out. So that's how, like, new this is to me, but I love it. I love everything to do with, like, space, so, like, Alien, Star Wars, Star Trek. Let outer space have a giant battle with evil creatures and people and whatever. Love it. Personally, my favorite villain out of the entire Star Wars series was Darth Maul, and I'm mad at what happened to him in Episode 1, but whatever. I have yet to see Clone Wars. On my list. It's on my list. Lord of the Rings is another good series because medieval times. There's nothing more brutal than medieval times, just the violence that they use, the torture that they use, all that. And I know that this is like a make-believe land and whatever, but it still kind of does the same rituals and everything that medieval times are known for. So not as extensive as Braveheart or like Alexander or Gladiator and stuff like that. But it's you know, there's wizards, there's short little people called hobbits, there's giant ents, which are giant talking trees. You've got flying things called Nazguls, and they're like a dragon, but they don't breathe fire, and they're just weird and creepy worm, sharp teeth, flying beasts that have ring wraiths on them, which are these like shadow hunters that this evil lord who created a ring. Anyway, super good. If you like war, and you like monsters, and you just like seeing humans and the elves and dwarfs and all these things just kind of coming together to fight the bad guys, watch, because and get the extended version. I mean, I know each movie adds an extra hour, and each movie is already 3 hours long, so with the extended version, each movie then becomes 4 hours long, but worth. Alright, now we're getting into the possession kind of movies. Now, these are two complete opposites of movies, but at the same time they're not. So the first one is Paranormal Activity. I thoroughly enjoyed this just because I'm really into the whole oh my god, I didn't grab one. Wait a tick. I'm into the whole through the lens of like a video camera kind of movie. So Paranormal Activity is all about ghosts and demons, which love. And I'm more of like, if you don't know this about me, I'm more into like the evil, the darker side of things. I've always had a fascination with the darker side of movies, the darker side of books. Anything that's like, oh, demonic possession, I'm always like, okay, I kind of want to root for the demons. I kind of want the good guys to win because, you know, they always pretty much win in every movie or book. But for once, I just want to be like, I want to see a demon or like an evil thing win for once. Huh. So this follows a man and his girlfriend, his wife. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it. And he gets his new camera, and he's like following her around everywhere and recording everything, and strange things start happening in the house, and then it's like an invisible force that's doing all these things, and It's just, it makes it look like it's a home movie, and it's just, it brings that creepiness to it with how realistic everything looks, I find, in it. Next one I'm gonna talk about are monster movies. Jurassic Park is literally the king of all monster movies. This is the end all to be all to end all, I don't know, whatever the saying is. This. I've been obsessed with dinosaurs since a kid. T-Rex was always my favorite. Of course, the bad guy of the film. Humans finally get to experience what it was like living with dinosaurs, and they go to a theme park that has all these dinosaurs recreated and walking around like living, breathing dinosaurs. You know that this is going to be a bad idea. It's like, oh cool, you have an amusement park with live dinosaurs. Something bad is going to happen. And of course, everything bad happens. We've got Dracula. Keanu Reeves is in it. He wasn't the best actor in it, whatever. But the reason why I really, really enjoyed this is how Gary Oldman. So Gary Oldman plays Dracula. He was able to capture everything that Dracula needed to be. He was sophisticated, calming, very persuasive, very alluring. He was able to get people to be like, he's a nice guy, when in fact he's a fucking monster and he wants to rip out your throat and turn you into either A, dead, B, another one of his little vampire minions, or C, one of his vampire brides. And that is exactly what Dracula does. Every depiction of Dracula ever in the history of the world has always been, he's easy on the eyes, he's very alluring, he's very hypnotizing, he can bring you in, make you do things that you don't want to do, but you don't have like a say kind of thing, and it's just like you don't question him. He says it, you do it. He says jump, you say how high. He is the perfect Dracula. No one, I have yet to see a better Dracula than Gary Oldman. And then the last movie in the monster one, fucking Godzilla, okay? Godzilla, you can name any monster ever, nothing, in my opinion, will top Godzilla. And I'm not talking about like, oh, vampires, I'm not talking about werewolf, I'm talking about like million-foot tall goddamn monsters. This, he is the king of monsters. Frig off with King Kong, although Kong Skull Island, awesome movie. Go watch that, because, and stay after the credits for Kong Skull Island, because it has to do with this. Watch this, go see Kong Skull Island. You don't even have to watch this first. You can go and see Kong Skull Island and then watch this. I remember when I was watching this movie in the theaters, I was getting mad because he is known for his like atomic breath, the big blue fucking fire, and I was mad because they didn't do it, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You fucked up again, Warner Brothers, question mark? Legendary Pictures. It was Warner Brothers, yes. I was watching it mad because they weren't doing it, and then all of a sudden I saw like glowing blue, and I'm just like, I started raising out of my seat because I was just so excited because they finally put in his atomic breath, and it was just I'm back. Godzilla, best monster movie ever. The last two movies I'm going to talk about are some Disney ones. Now, I'm going to save that one for last because it's my all-time favorite movie ever. But this one I chose, Maleficent. I love Sleeping Beauty. It was my favorite Disney princess movie growing up, and it was literally only because of Maleficent. As I said, I've had a thing for the bad guys forever, and when I had heard that they were making a live-action Sleeping Beauty called Maleficent, and it was only going to focus on Maleficent, I was like, yes, bitch, bring it on. Take all my money. Then I heard Angelina Jolie was going to portray her, and I was like, ooh, I don't really like Angelina Jolie. Let's choose someone else. And then the trailer came out, and I was just like, Angelina Jolie, take all my money right now. The fact that they made a story pretty much out of nothing. They turned the whole Sleeping Beauty story on its head. They changed everything. And this is by the same studio that did the original. She's actually the good guy in this. And the king, who's Aurora, father, is actually the villain. which I really enjoyed seeing. And this holds a special place to my heart, because always, as I said in the beginning, I always wanted to see a movie where the villain actually thoroughly wins. This is the movie that made me extremely happy, because not only is it my favorite villain, not only was it live action, but it was also the movie that allowed the villain, as it was known as a villain, to win in the end. My all-time favorite movie, and I know Ryan hates it, you infant, The Nightmare Before Christmas. Skeletons, witches, vampires, Santa Claus, the boogeyman. It's literally the darkest cartoon stop-motion animation thing created for children. I remember as a kid I used to be afraid of the creature under the stairs in the opening song sequence. Growing up, I came to love him more, even though he's literally in it for 2 lines. Jack is my favorite. I'm living for Jack and Sally. Zero can take a hike. I like him, but he's like, eh. Oogie is great villain, and that one I'm actually glad he didn't win in. But I still think that there should be a second one, because you could easily come up with another storyline for this. I know all the songs in it. Jack's Lament is like my favorite song. Absolute favorite movie. If you have not seen this, I don't know why you're actually not alive until you see this movie. Whether you like it or you hate it, it needs to be seen. So, if you like this video, make sure that you give it a like, hit the like button, leave a comment down below asking me my opinion on movies that you like, and see what I say. Make sure you hit the subscribe button right here. Make sure to click over here if you want to see last week's video, and over here if you want to see a playlist of my movie reviews. And I will see all of you next week. Bye!